YouTube, what it do? We are the Marsh family. Hello everyone, my name is Courtney.
My name is Tay.
And we are better known as the Marsh family on Instagram. So what we're going to do today is I have our labor and delivery vlog. All the details on how Jayce got here. So what we're going to do is we're going to play some clips and then we're going to stop and talk about them because you all have asked a lot of questions, just from epidurals to like how Tay was able to help to breastfeeding. So as we play certain clips, we're going to stop, answer some questions, give you some tips, some advice. That's what we're going to do today. So thank you all for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment and subscribe. And let's get started. Alright guys, it is 5:03 in the morning and my phone's about to die, but I've been having really bad contractions, so we're about to head to the hospital just to get checked out and make sure everything is okay. I don't know if I'm going into labor or not, but better safe than sorry. So we'll keep you guys updated. Like, these contractions have been happening every 5 minutes. And it's been pretty bad.
Every 3 minutes.
Every 3 minutes. So we'll see. Jayce might be ready to come. So stay tuned. Whew, and another one's coming. Okay, so that clip was basically about when I first started having contractions and what determined like if I should go to the hospital or not. I recommend if you're having contractions, what, 5 minutes or less?
Yeah. So they recommend like 5 minutes or less, then you should get to the hospital. For her, it was like every like 3 minutes, like 3 minutes or something like that.
Yeah,
so.
and we just kind of knew something wasn't right. So if you're having like intense contractions, and people ask me what is a contraction, I say it feels like a very intense period cramp. So when you're pregnant and it's almost time for you to deliver, you kind of know what's normal and what's not normal. So the night before in that clip you just saw, I just knew something wasn't right. And Tay was just recommending, like, let's just go ahead and go to the hospital. Better safe than sorry. And another tip, be sure you have your hospital bags packed because this was so unexpected. Jayce came a week and a half early.
I happened to put the bags in the car the night
before.
So probably like 6, 7.
I was basically at the ER and I was filling out my paperwork, registering and everything. That was a very tedious and lengthy process. 2 things you need to make sure you have. Well, all hospitals are different, but in mine, I had to make sure that I had my insurance cards and my driver's license. Tell them what's going on.
Alright, y'all, so we're over here. They have her hooked up to the monitor.
Let's show them. Checking
Jayce's heartbeat, measuring contractions.
Oh, you see him? Did you get on camera?
Yeah. Jayce said it's time to come. So they got us all hooked up. We got her hooked up.
Okay. We'll keep y'all updated.
Let's see what my boy got going. 131. So y'all, she just had a contract. Well, I guess she's having another contraction. Okay.
So ladies, they have to check your cervix. For those who don't know, they stick about 3 fingers inside of you and they mash around and they see how many centimeters you've dilated. The most uncomfortable feeling in the world. Now it is optional up to a certain point, and then you really don't have a choice because that determines how soon you can be induced, if you're about to get ready to push them out. I mean, it just is very important that you get your cervix checked, but it is so uncomfortable. So at that point, I got my cervix checked. I was about 2 centimeters dilated. And so the nurse had to call the doctor. But like,
I just know we got there and then they said 2, and then she came back and she said, "Do you want to have the baby today?" And we was like, "Yeah." So
and
we ended up staying.
Got real.
Yeah, it got real after that. So then, so then what? We had to walk.
To help induce you, if you're trying to go ahead and have a baby, is walking. So I had to walk.
A lot of walking.
A lot of walking.
For like an hour straight.
An hour.
Yeah. So when she's in like deep contractions, fellas, you are going to be sitting there and you're going to be helpless. Like, there's nothing that you can really do, obviously. So my only advice is just be any type of support. So just rub her hand, rub her back, tell her she's doing good, anything to make her feel confident, like she's just going to get through the situation. So because you will sit there and you want to do something, but you just can't do anything. And it's hard to watch your wife just kind of go through pain like that, or your girlfriend, whatever. But just be there for support.
When you are having contractions, do not curl your body over because it makes it worse. I thought by like just tightening my body, it would help. It did not help. The best thing to do is breathe. Try to sit up. Just try to let air flow through your body. Deep breaths. Before you go into labor or have a baby, practice your breathing. Just practice taking long, deep breaths. And I know that even though you're in pain and your stomach is tight and your body is hurting, the best thing that will help is breathing.
All right, y'all, so we finally made it over to labor and delivery. She's sitting up here. They got her all comfortable. Contractions has slowed down a little bit. But I think they said that they were going to try to kind of kick the contractions back in, speed the process.
Progesterone, I think. They're going to give me something that's going to kind of speed them up. I guess I'm getting it.
We're trying to get him here today. Like January the 17th, that's my boy's birthday. We ain't going back on that. So
let's get this party started. I want us to take a picture.
Mama.
All right, let me talk to the camera. I ain't got no makeup on, but...
What you gotta tell her?
All right, so this was unexpected, but Jayce will be here this afternoon. We are excited. I'm 3 centimeters, and I'm about to go ahead and get that epidural.
Which is highly needed at this point.
Yeah.
Because those contractions are
whooping
your...
They're about to try to intensify this thing.
Speed the process up a little bit.
Yes. So...
I got everything over here. I don't know if y'all can see that. Let's see, got my boy name. They put us in the Baptist East Suites. Oh look, this gonna be my it's gonna be his little bed. Or whatever that thing called. What's this thing called? I don't know what that's called, but how you feeling? How you feeling?
I don't know.
Anxious?
Anxious, about to cry.
You nervous? Don't cry.
Yeah.
You got it.
So I got my epidural at 3 centimeters. And one thing that was a myth that I thought was actually factual, and it wasn't, is that you had to wait until you were 7 centimeters or more, or just to a certain point before you can get an epidural. That is false. So I got my epidural at 3 centimeters. Yes, I was a punk. I was like, Tay, should I go ahead and get it? He was like, mm-hmm. So it was good though, because it takes an hour for your epidural to fully kick in. It takes 30 minutes of preparation and then 30 minutes just for it to start going through your body and become effective. And so I got it at 3 centimeters. They rose me up on this little bed. And another myth to epidurals is that the needle is this long, and it's not. The needle was so tiny. It felt like a bee sting. And once they numbed my back, they just stuck this catheter. It's like a tiny little, how would you describe it?
Like a catheter. It looks like
a little fishing.
Yeah, fishing line.
A fishing line, yes.
But a little bit thicker, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then you feel like this cold, like breeze go through your body. That's the medicine going in. And then, I mean, like, that's just kind of it. I'm so glad I got it early, because when I was at 10 centimeters, it felt like this. Oh. Like a little pressure.
After she gets the epidural, so the husband or the boyfriend, you gotta leave the room. Then when you come back in, she was shaking. Like she had like this little shiver thing going on. I walk in like, what y'all do to my wife? Like she's shivering real bad, shaking.
Oh, I was shaking like I was.
And I'm thinking like it was some like side effect like to the epidural. But the nurse told us that it was just kind of like hormones or something like that.
Just like because my body temperature was changing so quickly because that epidural was cold.
Yeah, so she was like
I was
shaking
freezing
really bad, so.
Like instantly. Oh, and what did they say about the tongue? They said if you're cold, or what was it? Stick your tongue out like this. Remember, if you're cold.
No, that was to stop the shaking.
To stop the shaking. Yeah. So if you're like having the shakes like I was, they said stick your tongue out like this. And just like kind of mash on it, and it really helped. I mean, those just little tips and tricks just made the world of a difference.
All right, Mom, I'm going to get you up in stirrups. We'll take that catheter out, and I'm going to teach you how to put. All right? We're going to have a baby, and you're going to. Mama, come on. Get your breath and go. Come on. Don't waste that contraction. Come on, baby. 2, 4, 5, 6, right there. 7, 8, 9, 10. Blow it out. Do that one more time, Mama. Just like that.
So, pushing him out. Ladies, do what I didn't do. Build up your leg muscles. Build up your core. If you have strong leg muscles and a strong core, it's the easiest thing in the world, because that pushing is no joke. I don't even know what to compare it to.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's the easiest thing, but I would say it would probably make it easier.
Yeah. But just start practicing. Like, yeah, I pushed for 33 minutes, and when I was pushing, I didn't do all that screaming like that. I was just like really focusing. Like, let me just push. So it's very quiet. I didn't really have that like outburst, holler, anything like that. But what I do recommend is just focusing. I had to push. Okay, so per contraction, you do 3 pushes. So the nurse said, here comes your next contraction. And then she'll say, push. You got your team, like my husband, my mother-in-law. My mom was like, push. I'm like, like just pushing.
She counts to 10. The nurse counts to 10. But it's the longest 10 seconds. And I think they count slow on purpose.
Man, what? I'm like,
keep pushing. I'm thinking like that's a long.
Wasn't it long?
Yeah,
I was like, am I tripping, or is this like 30 seconds?
Nah, yeah, it was long.
So after 10 seconds, she's like, okay, breathe, push again. I'm like, and so, I mean, you just got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. And during that process, fellas, even though you think that you're about to stand around and just watch the whole process, like you're actually helping. Well, I know for me personally, so I had her like left leg, her mom had the right leg. No, my mom had her right leg. Her mom was holding her, helping her with the
somebody
head.
Hold your neck
So it's
up.
like a whole like support system. Like you got to be there. But you can see everything if you want to see everything. Me, I chose to see everything. Some things I didn't want to see. But it is what it is. All I'm gonna say is just be prepared. Like it's a sight to see or not to see. But you'll make that decision very quickly.
if you want to be in there or not. Yeah, it's a lot of blood, a lot of fluids, but you know, at the end of the day, when your beautiful baby comes out, it's just like, it makes it all just worth it.
Oh my God, Jayce. Wide open. Look around. Hey, Jayce, baby. Hi, Jayce. Gigi is here. Gigi is here. Oh my God.
Hey, Jayce.
So Jayce is here. Our wonderful, beautiful bundle of joy is here. He came out like, tell him how he came out. That was like the most hilarious thing ever.
No, so it's really hard to explain. But when Jayce came out, he was like face down, so you couldn't see his face. So I'm looking at like the top of his head, and then when the nurse like pulls him out, like he just like unravels, like his hands go up, he looks dead at me, and then just starts to scream. But it's definitely something that's probably gonna stick in my head forever.
I wish I would have seen
how he came out. But I mean, it's the dopest thing ever. Like just to like make that eye contact with him. And then just see him just there, you know, he waited 9 months and now he's finally here. It's super dope.
And once he like finally came out, they took him over, wiped him down, did footprints. I mean, they just started going to work. We had to do skin to skin, and skin to skin is basically when your baby lays on you. You don't have a top on or anything. He doesn't have any clothes on, and you're just making that connection. They called it the golden hour. And not only did they do it for me, but they did it for Tay too. And I have a few clips that I'll show with him doing his skin to skin. So we are trying to get used to Jayce's schedule. We were in the room just trying to get adjusted to a newborn. I didn't know what I was doing. He didn't know what he was doing.
Jayce don't know what he's doing.
Jayce don't know what he's doing because he's like, what's going on? If you're having a boy and you decide to get him circumcised, they get circumcised the second day. And because it's such it's not lengthy, but it's very tiring for the baby, so he slept the remainder of the day after he got circumcised. And ladies, if you plan on breastfeeding, I don't know if your baby is going to latch well or not, but if he or she doesn't like Jayce,
let's hope he does or she does.
If not, it's okay, because one thing I learned is that a baby only has to eat once in 24 hours. So that does give you a peace of mind, or it gave me a peace of mind, because when your milk starts to produce, you have this like orangey liquid called colostrum, and it's like the most important thing for your baby if you plan on breastfeeding, and it just comes out very, very slowly. So it was to the point to where I had to like squeeze my nipples and get this milk out, or the colostrum out, in a medicine cup. Tay had to like pour it down his mouth because he just wouldn't latch. And if you have that same problem, every hospital should have a lactation consultant. Use them.
Courtney called him like 10 times.
Use them. They are there to help you, because the last thing you want to do is go home and then you have no help. So while you're in the hospital, take advantage of the help that you get and the help that you have. So those are basically like the most important things that I would recommend, because as you can see, we didn't really record a lot of footage after he got here because I was drained, he was drained. I was like, forget a camera. Fun part's over. We got to get used to this baby. So
it's a very tedious process, though. I mean, you think that you're gonna go in, you're gonna have all the cameras out, but it is not. It's not like that. Like, it's hard to really catch clips like you want to catch clips.
Yes.
And then the times that you probably can catch the clips, you want to catch sleep.
Oh yeah.
So
I mean, what is sleep? We're still wondering what sleep is. So at that point, I was like, we don't have much footage of like after I delivered, because It was just like a whirlwind. He was up, I was trying to sleep, I was trying to eat. It's just a lot going on. So that's why we decided to just kind of tune in and just give you some details on certain things that we found helpful or not helpful. So yeah, so next is what? Time to go home?
Yeah.
48 hours, and it flew by, but it's time to go home.
Yeah.
Alright, so time to go home. Time to take this baby home. Welcome home, Jayce. Welcome home.
In the crib.
So many memories will be made here. Mom. So, man, those 2 days flew by. When he got ready to go home, they had to check all his vital signs one more time. They checked all my vital signs one more time. Everything was good.
They do like a little car seat exam and make sure like he's in the car seat good.
So they do check and make sure they examine the car seat, or they make sure the car seat is good to go. They make sure he's buckled in safe before they allow you to leave. You have to get your discharge papers. It's a lot of paperwork. So ladies, just kind of make sure you have like a folder, a binder, or a bag for everything to go in, because it's kind of like all the responsibility is kind of on you. Because Tay was dealing with Jayce and stuff, and there was a lot of information that I had to know about myself. And you know, when they were like giving me information about Jayce, I just wanted to take it all in, and I wanted Tay to deal with Jayce, and I would just communicate the information. So just kind of talk about things and have a system in order on how you plan to do things. Is there anything else?
Not as far as like the process of getting him home. Now when he got home, that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, we'll save
that's
that video for another day when he got home. But that was just a little bit about the process of getting him home. When you pack your baby's bag, they really don't need anything. I packed so much stuff, y'all, and I probably just needed. The hospital basically,
they give you everything that you really like need. Unless it's just things that you want him to have, like certain outfits or whatever. Yeah. But as far as like need-wise, they got everything that you would need.
You probably just need an outfit, and that's it. Like, I didn't need anything.
Oh.
So, thank you so much for watching. I'm sure there are more details I could have discussed or went over, but I wanted to kind of keep it short and simple and hit on the most important topics and just...
give any advice that we could give.
Yeah, just give any kind of advice. So, if you have any questions, just comment below. I don't mind answering anything that'll help ease your mind as you prepare to deliver your baby. So thank you again for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you all next time. Goodbye.